Commissioner Mills, Commissioner Sullivan, Commissioner Rodriguez, and myself are present. And we'd like to have a moment of silence for former Commissioner Gene Vignola, who we lost last week. Thank you. Okay, so Chief, it's off to you.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Just in follow-up to the moment of silence from Commissioner Vignola, served with honor for, I believe it's been over 20 years he served the commission. So I was very grateful to be able to work with him and have him as an intricate part of the police department. He's definitely going to be missed. Getting into tonight's meeting, in addition to our normal agenda, I do have two potential candidates to offer to the commission for interview purposes for the position of police officer. So towards the end of the meeting, I would request an opportunity to go into executive session, not only to conduct those interviews, but to discuss personnel matters as well. Communication since our last meeting. As a reminder, our last meeting was June. We did forego the July meeting, and our initial August meeting was scheduled for August 15th, last Thursday, but due to the passing of Commissioner Vignola, we postponed that and rescheduled it for today. So thank you for the flexibility in your schedules. I do have a thank you card from the DeStefano family in regards to sending flowers to Mrs. Teresa DeStefano's funeral service. I do have that if anybody would like to see it, pass it around. Some other communications, some press releases that did go out that I forwarded to the commission. I have a press release from June 22nd in regards to the fatal motorcycle accident, a press release from June 27th in regards to our cannabis investigation and arrests, a press release from July 25th in regards to a narcotics search warrant in which large quantities of narcotics and guns were seized. Would the commission like to discuss them at all?
No questions?
No question.
So I have the June Police Commission meeting minutes. I did forward them to the commission as well for review. Would the commission like to discuss them at all from June? It was June 20th. No? Being no discussion, could I have a motion to accept them as written?
Motion.
I have a motion by
Second.
Commissioner Sullivan, second by Commissioner Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Appreciate that. I also have the minutes from the August 5th special meeting that I did request. I did forward those to the commission as well for review. Would the commission like to discuss those at all? Being no discussion, could I have a motion to accept those as written?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I appreciate that. Just to touch on the statistics that the department's dealt with over the last 2 months. So for the month of June, also I did forward the commission copies of our monthly reports. June statistics, the department handled 2,878 calls for service, which was a slight decrease from May, in which in May we handled 3,259 calls for service. Part 1 crimes for June, the department investigated 69 Part 1 crimes. Out of the category, 12 were considered violent, 57 were considered property crimes, and out of the 57 property crimes, 47 were larceny related. The previous month in May, the department handled 61. Part 2 crimes for the month of June, we investigated 211 in comparison to 219 in May. For the month of June, the department made 274 arrests, which was a slight increase over the previous month of 244. Traffic tickets, the department issued 476 in the month of June, which was a slight decrease from 561 in the month of May. Parking tickets for the month of June, 218 were issued, which was a decrease from 281 in May. And uses of force, there are 7 incidents that resulted in some type of use of force, which equates in comparison to the number of arrests, 2.6%. Would the commission like to discuss any of the stats from June? The statistics from July 2024, the department handled 2,848 calls for service, which was a very small decrease from the previous month of 2,878. Part 1 crimes for the month of July, the department investigated 56. We saw a slight decrease there from the previous month. Out of those 56, 16 were classified in the violent categories, 40 as property crimes, and out of the 40, 39 were larceny related. That's in comparison to June, where we had 69 Part 1 crimes. Part 2 crimes for the month of July, where we investigated 181 incidents in comparison to 211 in June. Arrest for the month of July, the department made 295 arrests in comparison to 274 in the month of June. Traffic summons, the department issued 470 for the month of July, a slight decrease from June, in which we issued 476. Parking summons for the month of July, the department issued 360, which was an increase over the previous month, in which 218 were issued. And uses of force for the month of July were 10 incidents that had a use of force attached, which equates to 3.4% of the total arrests. Would the commission like to discuss statistics from July? During the months of June and July, the department investigated 2 incidents that were reported as shots fired. Both of those incidents ended up being confirmed. One was from June 19th in the area of 116 Genung Street. As of right now, we have no persons of interest as far as the actual shooters. We did come across people that day that we did bring back and interview them, but as of right now, we still don't have anybody to hold accountable for that incident. And then on July 19th, in the area of 58 Grand Avenue, there was an incident of shots being fired during the overnight hours. Number 58 Grand Avenue was actually struck by a bullet. However, we do not believe that to be an intended target. I do have some additional information that I could share in an executive session on that incident. In both of those incidents, we are unaware of anyone being struck or injured. Moving forward into staffing. As we sit here today, I currently have 2 vacancies, 73 sworn personnel, budgeted for 75 in this year's budget. This evening, I have 2 candidates to present to the commission for potential hiring. Both are bilingual. Both are Middletown High School graduates. And if they are selected for employment, they would both have to attend the police academy, which would start on September 9th, 2024. Out of the 73 that I currently have on duty, I have 1 deployed on military leave. It's a long-term deployment. That person is also, we were just notified, he's also processing for a position with the St. Petersburg, Florida Police Department, so we're not sure if he's ever coming back at all. I also have 1 that's out on disability injury, and I have 2 in field training. 1 is due to get out in the next probably about 2 weeks, and 1 just started last week. The officer that just started in field training is Officer Trayvon Myers. He graduated the police academy last Wednesday, August 14th. At the graduation ceremony, he was awarded the Physical Fitness Award, and as I mentioned, he just started his field training. Middletown graduate also. On June 28th, our newest K9 Micah, and Officer Berman, they graduated from the K9 Academy. That was the first portion. It's a 2-phased program. The first portion is all the discipline, tracking, apprehension, those types of things. He will be moving into the second portion this fall, later in September, and that'll be the narcotics detection aspects of that. His new K9 is very outstanding, very impressed.
And female.
Female, yes, yeah. In our June meeting, the commission interviewed as a police officer candidate Jeffrey Rivera and offered him a conditional employment opportunity. Those conditions were that he took and passed the medical and the psychological exams, which he did. He passed both of them, so he has completed the whole process. His conditional offer has been transitioned to a full offer, and he will be starting with the department on September 3rd, and he will start the academy, police academy, on September 9th. Also, the last several months, I spoke with the commission in regards to a position that I received some grant funding for to create a service coordinator position. I was actually able to finally hire that individual. That individual started with us on July 8th. He's well known to the community. I want to bring him into the commission at some point. Stevenson Monchery, his son he just graduated high school this past spring, was a star wrestler, has deep ties in the community, has worked in the service industry for many, many years. And I think he realized how much we actually are dealing with, and he's hitting the ground running. So we're very happy to have him. He's proven to be an asset thus far. Also, in regards to staffing, I did hire, also on July 8th, a dispatcher, a full-time dispatcher, to fill the vacancy that was created by dispatcher Roman when she retired on July 6th. I hired a gentleman, his name is Angel Figueroa, bilingual, extremely happy to be with us, fitting in good, very energetic, and doing well. He's progressing very good. Lastly, on my staffing, I made a new assignment, or reassigned someone. I assigned Officer Ashley Hilgenfeld to the traffic detail unit, probably about a month ago. So she's been our traffic person for the last about a month. She's doing well, being active and following up on our high traffic complaint areas. Any questions in regards to staffing? Training, I'll just read through the list of training since our last meeting that the department has participated in. The POS conference, which is our scheduling software, school resource officer training, Mid-Atlantic Law Enforcement Executive Development Seminar, Defensive Tactics Instructor, Patrol Bicycle School, Child Passenger Safety course, Standardized Field Sobriety Instructor, FBI Digital Photography course, Quarterly Range Cycle, the Give 11 Orientation Seminar, Animal Crimes Conference, Drug Recognition Expert Certification, Integrated Communications Assessment and Tactics De-Escalation Training, Radar Course, Outlaw Motorcycle Gang Course, Dementia and Missing Persons Investigations, Child Abduction Response and Investigation Training, Accusatory Instrument Instructor, Rapid DNA Webinar, Interview and Interrogation Techniques, Major Scenes and Equipment Training, New York State Chiefs of Police Conference, Leadership Speaker Series, DWI Refresher Briefing Training, Hidden Compartment Vehicle Contraband Training. So we keep the officers busy as much as we can. We appreciate the support to allow us to do that. Any discussion on training?
One question.
Yes, sir.
What is an accusatory instrument?
It's the document that is filed with the court to show the charges, the elements of crimes. So when we arrest somebody, we have to find the crime that they actually violated, and each crime has its own series of elements. So that is the actual written document that is filed through the system, through the court system, to say that defendant such and such violated law, whatever, and these are the elements of that law, and these are the items that the defendant did that meet those elements.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
I don't know if that helped at all, but
No, it did. It says technical writing.
yes, it would have been easier. Technical writing, yes. So without those specific elements, sometimes they will be dismissed. So we have to make sure that we stay attuned with that. Since our last meeting, I was notified by Senator Skoufis's office. Once again, we're very happy to have him. That we are getting a second round of SNUG funding for the 2025 year. SNUG funding is a gun elimination program. We're fortunate that in the 2024 calendar year, we were awarded $150,000. We will have the same award going into 2025. In 2024, we spent some of that on those camera trailers that we move around the city to hit high hotspot areas or high volume areas. We also are in the process of partnering with the school district to provide a training program for youth. It's called an ambassador program, where we would utilize 7th and 8th graders to train them as ambassadors so that they have the education going into the high school and help mediate and eliminate some of the conflicts that arise. So we're happy to be partnered with the school district on that, and we're also extremely happy that Senator Skoufis has continued to help us better address our community. So we'll put together an agenda for 2025. I believe it'll continue with a partnership with the school as well. Community events since our last meeting. We've run thus far 2 junior police academies that have completed and graduated. On July 19th was the elementary group. On July 26th was the middle school group. And actually starting today was our 3rd academy, was the starting of it. It's the high school group, and they're scheduled to graduate this coming Friday, August 23rd, 2:30 p.m. right here in this room, if anybody would like to join us. Night Out Against Crime. Unfortunately, we did cancel it due to the weather, the pending weather that was that day. And obviously, as soon as we canceled it, the rain went away, the sun came out, but we did not know that, and we had to make a decision, or I had to make a decision based on getting vendors there. We are considering an alternative to that, since a lot of the things have already been paid for and put in place. So once we figure that out, we will put that out to the public as well. Being that we do have a pretty full agenda this evening, in regards to case review, there is one that I would like to highlight. Officer Quillas, this is from July 21st. And I bring this up because Officer Quillas has done an amazing job thus far. In his career, he's only been with us a short few years, but he's a super active police officer, is very familiar with our problem areas, problem people, and he proves time and time again that he's instrumental in keeping the city safe. So on July 21st, he was investigating a report of a menacing, followed up with the victim descriptions, did some patrols, was able to locate people that matched descriptions, approached the individual. As he approached the individual ended up running from him, a short foot pursuit. He was able to take the person into custody and recovered a loaded handgun from him. So that, I believe, is number 4 or 5 for the year for Officer Quillas. Again, and he obviously has assistance from other officers, but he seems to be the impetus behind putting a little bit more effort into it. So he's doing a really great job for the department and for the community. Moving forward, I did forward several internal investigations, policies to the commission for their review. I don't know if the commission had the opportunity to review them. If you want, we could discuss them, talk about them, table them. That's up to you as a commission.
You looking for a resolution, Chief, to adopt?
Yeah, resolution to accept the ones that I forwarded as written, or if you would like to discuss them, or that's up to you, sir. I could tell you the ones that I did send, no?
Yeah, I don't have any issues with them.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we accept them.
Okay. Second. I have a motion by Mayor DeStefano, second by
That was Miguel.
Miguel. By Commissioner Rodriguez. Just for the record purposes, I'm going to just read just a quick summary of them, just for record purposes. So on a motion by Mayor DeStefano, second by Commissioner Rodriguez, all commissioners in favor to accept the following internal investigations and personnel complaints as written. First one would be from November 19, 2023. It's case number, or blotter number 2331499. That is one that the commission and I have discussed several times over the last several months, and that it was actually the purpose of the August 5th meeting, special meeting, to come to a resolution in that situation. Next is November 23rd, 2023. It's a personnel complaint, and it's personnel complaint 017 of 23 and blotter number 2329936. The complaint was that the department failed to investigate complaints of trespass. Ended up being a civil dispute in regards to a foreclosure of property. The property was foreclosed on, a new owner took ownership. The previous owner was upset that we weren't taking action against the new owner. He was kind of fighting the process still. Upon investigation, that complaint was exonerated. June 7, 2024, an exposure incident. This investigation pertains to a defendant spitting in an officer's face. Upon review and investigation, no violations of departmental policy. June 22nd, 2024, a fatal MVA was part of a pursuit. Upon investigation and review, we find no violations of department policy. In an executive session, I do have a little bit to add to that in regards to the personnel. June 23rd, 2024, personnel complaint number 003 of 24, blotter number 2416190. The allegations in this were against the officers claiming that there was battery or assault and false arrest. This stemmed from a dispute with a taxi driver over the fare for the ride. Upon investigation, this complaint was exonerated. Next one was over a course of 2 days, June 23rd, 2024 and June 24th, 2024. This was a personnel complaint, 002 of 24. It pertains to blotters number 2416624, 2416235, 2416260. Allegations of unprofessional and hostile attitudes. This stemmed from an ongoing parking issue between neighbors. Upon investigation and review, unfounded, no violations of departmental policy. July 12, 2024, this was a violation of our sick policy, resulted in verbal counseling of the member and adjusted the person's time usage bank. July 28, 2024, blotter number 2419337. This was a use of force injury sustained by a defendant and a police officer. This was an altercation with an intoxicated person. The person, when we got called, was actually in a physical altercation with security staff of the El Punto Lounge. Upon review and the investigation, found no violations of departmental policy. However, there was a training issue that was identified and addressed with the officer. July 30th, 2024, blotter 2419582. This was an injury sustained by a defendant during an arrest resulting from a domestic incident. Upon review, no violations of departmental policy. So they were the ones that were forwarded. I do have a motion by Mayor DeStefano, second by Commissioner Rodriguez to accept as written. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Additionally, I did forward the commission 6 policy updates, all very, very minor, along with the cover sheet to explain why the updates were what they were. Did the commission have the opportunity to review those, or would you like to discuss them? Move forward, accept them as written? So just for purposes of the meeting, first policy is policy 320, standards of conduct. Second is policy 330, death notifications. Third, policy 428, medical cannabis. Fourth, policy 1005, reporting of arrest, convictions, and court orders. Number 6 is policy 1010, uniforms and civilian attire. And number 7 is policy 1027, temporary modified duty and assignments. If I could have a motion to accept them as written. Motion by Commissioner Mills, second by Commissioner Sullivan. All in favor?
Aye.
Appreciate that, thank you. I hope that cover sheet makes it a little easier for the commission to understand the minor changes. That's all I have on my agenda this evening. I don't know if the commission has anything they would like to discuss or go over, review. All good? We do have one attendee in the audience. Gloria, do you have anything you would like to address with the commission?
I'd like to be on the police commission.
Well, we had previous applicants, Gloria, that we're still going through from a couple of years ago. So if we exhaust all the current people, then we'll give you a call for an interview. Okay?
Anything else, Gloria?
That's really sad about that fire.
It is sad, yes.
Right about the corner from my house.
Yes. A lot of bad stuff there, yeah. Tough. I have nothing else unless the commission has anything.
Nothing.
Being nothing else, I would request that we move into executive session to discuss personnel matters and to conduct interviews.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mayor Stefano, second. All in favor?
Yes.
We will be moving into executive session at 4:56 p.m.